and bring you an encore of the Brigade Saga finale in its entirety.
Your attention, please. Lockdown, lockdown, lockdown.
Rated PG. Now showing at a theater near you. For showtimes, check newspaper.
He's the kind of guy that can play the one.
Awesome.
It doesn't get better.
It just got better.
Okay, guys, we can't get coffee though.
Yeah, we still got time.
Big hole up the middle. Let's go. Let's see who's running to the end zone. Touchdown! Let's see that again. What a hustle that was. The ball's up. Long shot. Makes the grab. He's in for two. What a throw that was.
Dietz and Watson. It's a family thing.
I love game night.
They canceled. They couldn't get a sitter. How are you not getting this? Any guesses?
A llama in a buggy. Bam! I hereby conquer Australia.
It's about time. Whoa! 40 Love, what's up?
Because we're playing on carpet.
They got a sitter. They're on their way.
I'll clean.
I'll get more food.
Okay.
Dietz and Watson. It's a family thing.
When the NRA tried to overturn Maryland's assault weapons ban, Attorney General Brian Frosh led the fight to stop them, defending our gun safety laws to protect the people of Maryland. Attorney General Brian Frosh.
Save 30% store-wide during Bassett's Friends and Family Sale.
I'm Abigail Spanberger, and I approve this message.
When Dave Brandt went to Congress, he went Washington. While Virginians struggle with rising drug prices, Brandt's taken thousands from pharmaceutical, insurance, and other healthcare companies, voting them billions in tax breaks while voting against lowering the cost of prescriptions and voting against protections for pre-existing conditions for the people he represents. Brandt serves his donors' interest. We need someone who's for us.
Put this on your calendar. Sunday, November 4th, join me with NBC4 in supporting the Longevity Foundation's Breathe Deep DC Walk, the 10th anniversary. It's a fun-filled 5K walk with kids' activities, racing presidents, a photo booth, and more. Let's celebrate longevity's life-saving progress and new reasons for hope for those living with lung cancer. Join me Sunday, November 4th at 9 a.m.
Sign up today at www.longevity.org/DC.
You're watching PGC 12. Don't forget to catch the chilling conclusion to the Brigade Saga, Saturday at 10 a.m., then again Sunday at 5 a.m., right here. And while you're at it, check out our Brew Hour, next Monday at 7 p.m. You can also watch on PBS, or listen to the audio-only simulcast on WPGC 95.5. The following is an encore of a previous episode of Community Focus. Some dates and events might be outdated or have passed. Thank you and enjoy the show.
WPGC PGC 95.5. Let's go.
This is WPGC FM HD1 Morningside, Washington, D.C. A radio.com station.
Hey folks, welcome back to another edition of Community Focus right here on WPGC 95.5. I'm your host, News Affairs Director Guy Lambert. Hey, we got a power-packed show lined up for you today. Gonna get to that in just 1 second. Before we do so, need to remind you that the comments and opinions expressed during the course of this program are not necessarily the views of WPGC Radio nor Intercom Broadcasting. All right, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, mark your calendars. I'm talking about right now. What are you marking on your calendar? Well, you're marking the upcoming Walk in 5K to End HIV. You see, we're joined today by Jewel Addy. She's the External Affairs Manager, and Desiree Dickerson. She's the Clinical Research Manager at Whitman Walker Health. You see, Whitman Walker is celebrating its 40th anniversary as a nonprofit community health center right here in the district. They answered the call of the AIDS epidemic in D.C. and have since grown to provide wraparound medical and dental care, youth services, mental health and addiction services, legal help, clinical research, investigations, and more. That's because they're giving back in a major way. So without further ado, I welcome Jewel and Desiree to the program. Good morning, ladies. Welcome to Community Focus.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
Well, y'all are choir this morning. We got church going on. I like this.
We love talking in unison.
This is just really cool. You know, I have questions in front of me, but I just got to tell you, I remember, 15, 20 years ago, I don't want to date myself, when we were really talking about AIDS more than we talk about now, HIV and AIDS. And I remember at that time, we would have to say, if you're HIV positive, it's not a death sentence. Fast forward to today, and I'm glad that I could still say that, and I'm glad a lot of folks now understand that, mainly because of organizations like yourself, and I'm referring to none other than Whitman Walker Health. How does that make you feel knowing that you all are making a difference within the community?
That makes me feel really, really proud to be part of the Whitman Walker family. I've seen so many lives changed. I have seen some heartaches and some people pass away from complications, but the majority of people, like, they've come in really sick, and after getting the right care or becoming one of our research subjects or patients, they've really excelled, and we brought them to really, really good health.
Yeah, not only that, but correct me if I'm wrong, but for me, it seems easier to have that conversation now, not only with, let's say, your friends and family, but just overall in general, to talk about the importance of knowing your HIV status and really making sure we get that message out. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Absolutely. When people come in there, this is not even people who already know their status. You could come in the door and get testing and ask for testing on any day, and to just be stopped in the lobby, or even if someone knows that you work at Whitman Walker and they see you on the streets, just to be stopped and for someone to ask you that question, it really does feel good to let people know that this is not a disease that'll kill you right away with the proper, like, if you have the proper treatment, you can live a long, healthy life just as well as anyone who's HIV negative.
Yeah, Jewel, you're sitting over there shaking your head like, girl, you tell it. I know you telling it. But I want you to elaborate, if you will. I mean, we're talking about HIV and AIDS, and obviously we're going to get into the walk that you all are having in just a minute. But I want folks to understand how important it is that we stress this is still an issue within our community.
Yeah, so while we've made a lot of progress around people being more engaged with their care and getting tested, there still is a lot of stigma around HIV and what it means to be positive. People still see it as the HIV status and AIDS epidemic that, like, once we experienced. So it is really important that folks just know that there are treatment options available. There is prevention methods like PrEP. You can take a daily pill to prevent HIV infection, and as long as you come and see us, we'll make sure you know what is available to you. Yeah,
you all have been providing care for so long. Of course, I'm referring to Whitman Walker Health. Each and every year, one of the things that you all do that I love is, well, you spearhead that annual walk. This year it's dubbed Walk in 5K to End HIV. That just has a nice ring to it. When did you all come up with that, by the way, out of curiosity?
We changed the name, I think, again in 2016. We wanted people to know that they could come and run, since DC is such a big running community.
Right. All right. Well, of course, this is set to take place next Saturday, October the 27th. Registration begins at 7:15. You all have a plethora of activities at 8:30, and then the walk itself begins at 9 a.m. For folks that are hearing this right now, I'm a visual type of guy. So tell me, what am I going to be surrounded by? What am I going to see when I show up to the walk? I would assume a whole bunch of people ready to strut their stuff.
Absolutely. You will see a bunch of us out there. You'll see a lot of positive energy, a lot of good vibes. There will be testing there on-site, free testing. We have a research table for people to come up and learn about different research studies. And
we're also going to have the AU, the American University Humanities Truck. We'll be doing an exhibit curated by Whitman Walker that just explores the history of the walk from its 1987 roots. Additionally, we'll have some panels from the AIDS cult and just really be reflecting on the people who we did lose to the epidemic that morning.
Yeah, this is just really cool. I honestly, I have yet to actually attend the walk. Usually I'm working at that time. My apologies. But it's so cool because you see the entire city roped off, if you will. And you always say, well, what's going on? Why do we have all this traffic? And then you see that it's, well, none other than Whitman Walker Health. And you're like, it's okay. I understand. I support. I don't mind sitting here another half hour. So
we appreciate it.
You all are definitely doing good in the hood, as I like to say. Out of curiosity, you made mention of testing, and I'm curious what research is being done to really combat HIV in today's day and age.
So we have many research HIV treatment studies that are going on at Whitman Walker Health. Right now, I am focusing on a research study for people who are HIV positive and also struggle with opiate addictions. And the study is aiming to improve people's health as far as them taking their medications and being more compliant with their medications if they could get their opiate addiction under control.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about earlier, several years ago, about the whole HIV and AIDS epidemic. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't D.C. lead the nation with regard to, at one point, with regard to the number of people that actually had HIV or AIDS? Am I correct about that? Did that happen several years ago?
Yeah. So we actually still have epidemic level HIV rates in D.C. We are hovering at about 1.9% as of last year. And the World Health Organization identifies an epidemic at 1%. So
we're at 1.9.
1.9.
Wow. That is just that that really baffles me, especially in this day and age when it seems like we're talking about this all the time. For somebody like me, what can I do to really get the message out? What more can I do on a daily basis?
You can tell people to visit whitman-walker.org and learn about our free walk-in HIV and STI testing services. If you do acquire an STI, it does make you more susceptible to become HIV positive, so you want to get you tested and treated. You can also visit prepfordc.com and learn more about PrEP, the Daily Pill that prevents HIV. And we have a wonderful PrEP clinic team that can help you get on PrEP, tell you how to pay for it, and just give you resources to help cover the cost of it.
Yeah. I'm embarrassed to say I heard a song the other day, and obviously we're an urban station, a hip-hop station, and so we play a lot of urban music, and rightfully so. But I heard a song the other day, and it was a rap artist. I don't remember the rap artist's name, but I remember at the time he was promoting having not safe sex or unsafe sex. And I just thought, wow, you got to put that in a song? How do you all combat that when so many times young kids say it's not cool to wear a condom or it's not cool to use protection, and they're hearing that in the rap songs, and then here comes Whitman Walker Health saying, hey, that's not a good thing, and they're more prone to listen to the rap artists.
We say learn what your options are, learn what best makes sense for you to protect yourself, whether it's condoms, whether you're having heterosexual or same-sex sexual relationships. We want you to just know what options are available for you and your personal needs to keep yourself safe and healthy. So that looks different for everyone, but we're supporting however you want to do that.
Yeah, it's very important that you practice safe sex. With regard to the walk, it's still not too late for you to get involved. Once again, it's all set to take place Saturday, October 27th. Registration begins at 7:15. The walk itself at 9 a.m. Folks like me, I actually can't attend, but I want to get involved. How can I go about to do so?
You can register to walk, run, or donate at walk10hiv.org. And if you aren't available or interested in coming down to Freedom Plaza at 8 a.m. in the morning on a Saturday, you can participate in the Brunch to End HIV. It's our third year doing it. We've got these really amazing restaurant partners who are going to donate a percentage of their brunch proceeds to Whitman Walker and support our care in the district. We actually have about 3,400 people who got their HIV care with us last year. So your donations and your showing up really makes a difference in their lives.
Good stuff. All right, ladies, we're about to wrap up. Anything else you want to stress before we sign off?
I would like to stress that research saves lives, and to join any of our studies, or if you're interested in any studies, please visit our website at whitman-walker.org, and there's an entire section on research and clinical trials.
Once again, it's the upcoming Walk in 5K to End HIV next Saturday, October 27th at Freedom Plaza. Registration, 7:15. The walk itself, starts at 9 a.m. We've been joined by none other than Jewel Addy, the External Affairs Manager, and Desiree Dickerson, the Clinical Research Manager at Whitman Walker Health. Ladies, thank you so much for coming on the show this morning, and continued success to what you're doing within our community.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. All right, folks, stick around. We're going to take a quick break. More Community Focus coming up next, right here on WPGC 95.5.
Download the all-new radio.com app and listen to WPGC 95.5 anytime, anywhere.
And we're back. You're listening to Community Focus right here on WPGC 95.5. I'm your host, News Affairs Director, Guy Lambert. All right, DC, I have a question for you. Are you registered to vote? I should see more hands than that. I should still see more hands than that. Well, if you have not registered, I got good news for you. There's still time to do so. Yes, the general election right here in D.C. is quickly approaching. Early voting begins next Monday, October the 22nd, and runs until November the 2nd. And I'm pretty sure you know Election Day is November the 6th. Here to tell us everything we need to know, you need to know, and I need to know is none other than Rachel Cole. She's the Public Information Officer for the District of Columbia Board of Elections. Good morning, Rachel. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Guy. Nice to be here. Thank you.
Can I first of all give you a high five and say thank you so much for coming on the program? You reached out to me via email and said, Guy, I got to make sure your listeners know what it is to vote early and all about early voting. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, let's jump right into it. Of course, we are getting set for early voting, and we are getting set for the actual general election. Out of curiosity, let's just go in reverse and think about the primaries that happened back in June. Tell me a little bit about that.
Primaries went really, really smoothly. We had a pretty good turnout during early voting. We continue to have folks come out and vote on the very rainy, very long, very hot June 19th election day at the primaries. And we had results in before 10 p.m., so it was a good day for us.
Wow.
So we hope that the general election goes just as well.
Yeah, it always amazes me how weather plays a role with regard to how many folks actually come out and decide to cast a vote.
Absolutely.
And I guess that's why it's so important we touch on early voting, because folks, maybe they don't want to stand in line all day, deal with the hustle and bustle of actually having to get to the polls. You all have really made that very easy. We were talking off air prior to signing on, and you said, well, Guy, there's been a lot of confusion about actually registering to vote. Help clear that up for me.
Sure. So there was a lot of attention on our registration, quote unquote, deadline of October 16th, but we really want folks to know they can still register. That just applied to registrations online, by mail, or using our mobile app. Folks can still come down to our offices at 1015 Half Street Southeast. We're in Suite 750. They can show up and register in person at our offices. We would encourage people to come no later than October 19th, because we do start early voting on October 22nd. But the good news there is anybody can register at any early voting center throughout the city. You can vote at any early voting center throughout the city, regardless of your address or what ward you live in. So there is same-day registration during early voting and same-day registration on Election Day, November 6th.
That is just amazing to me. I was so confused because, here I am sitting thinking, gosh, I missed the whole time to register to vote, and that's really not the case. I simply need to come and just knock on your door and make it all happen.
Exactly.
Good stuff for you guys. Of course, we're talking about Election Day as well. Now, there are going to be a lot of folks that actually show up to the polls, and they're going to say, well, hey, did I forget to bring what I need to bring? So why don't you help us, tell us, rather, what we need to have with us in order to vote?
Absolutely. So if you're registered and ready and you haven't moved since the last election that you voted in, all you need to do is show up with your name, be able to confirm your date of birth and your address once the poll worker checking you in asks. But otherwise, you don't need a single piece of paper with you. If you are registering same day, if you've recently moved and you've shown up to vote at your new polling location for your new address, we'll ask that you bring a proof of address. That doesn't have to be an ID. There is no ID requirement in DC. You can bring your cable bill, your Verizon bill, your bank statement, your paycheck, your lease.
Wow.
I would just say any bills that are items that you're using to prove your address need to be dated within the last 90 days.
Can I just say you all have made it pretty much impossible for folks not to vote? I mean, there is no reason. You should have no excuse not to show up at the upcoming general election. I got to ask you, so I hear a lot of commercials on this radio station. I see a lot of commercials on TV, and everybody's saying, hey, vote for me, vote for me. So I'm confused. What offices are on the November ballot in D.C.?
Sure. So the most significant, I would say, local city office, obviously the representative for the House is on the ballot, but additionally, The mayoral race is probably the highest office on the ballot. We also have wards 1, 3, 5, and 6 are electing their district or their ward member seat for the council. We also have the council member at large seat, the chairman of the council, and members of the State Board of Education, as well as advisory neighborhood commissioners.
Yeah.
So it's a power-packed ballot.
It really is. And if you're at home and you're listening right now, obviously you should familiarize yourself with each and every one of the candidates to make sure you cast the correct vote, the person that you want to vote for. When do the polls actually open and close on Election Day? That's a big question because a lot of folks say, hey, I got to get to work, or hey, I got to make sure. I think a lot of folks are off work actually that day, but they have errands to run.
Yeah, so polls open on Election Day at 7 a.m. and close at 8 p.m. And as long as you're in line at the polling place by 8, you will be able to cast your ballot. So even if you're not actually voting until 8:45, your vote will still count and you'll still get to vote live. But that's all the more reason why we really are encouraging folks to come out and vote early. Early voting beginning again on October 22nd, as you mentioned, running through November 2nd. Those locations are open at 8:30 in the morning every day and close at 7 p.m. So there's a little window before work and a window after work for people to come in and cast their ballots too.
Wow.
So, and we're open that whole weekend, October 27th and 28th as well. So.
No, all fair, you made mention about something where we could start voting on Monday, and then through the 25th, that will actually happen at Judiciary Square, and then it changes after that. Is that correct?
Correct. So we have in total 14 early voting centers, 2 per ward, except for wards 1 and 2. Where they only have 1 early voting center. So 1 Judiciary Square will be the only location you can vote from October 22nd to October 25th. Then on the 26th through November 2nd, all 14 locations will be open. And you can, for example, live in Ward 2 and cast your vote here in Ward 6 since you work here. Early voting centers do not require you to be voting in the ward that you live in.
Wow, that is so good to know.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, we live in a day and age where there's a lot of conspiracy theories, or, well, quite honestly, it has been proof that folks have actually done some things where they shouldn't have with regard to when we cast a vote. With that being said, are there any general cybersecurity preventative measures that are actually taking place right now?
Our agency is working with federal agencies and city-level agencies to be conducting proactive scanning, and we have an incredibly large, robust response team ready to respond to any potential threats that are detected. I certainly cannot tell you or expand on any of the technical possibilities out there, but we have an incredibly capable team that is super focused on making sure that your vote is safe, protected, confidential, and only counted one time so that everything goes as smoothly as possible.
All right. I'm sold. Folks that are listening to this program right now, maybe they want to lend a helping hand and they want to volunteer. How would one go about to do so?
We are still hiring poll workers and training poll workers. And if you're interested in getting out there in your community and encouraging your friends and neighbors to get out and vote and helping them cast that complicated ballot that I was trying to explain earlier, it is a wonderful opportunity to be a part of your community and serve your neighborhood. So we would definitely encourage people to visit us online at www.dcboe.org. There's a tab called Election Workers, and you can get every piece of information that you need about that right there.
All right. Good stuff. Once again, we've been chit-chatting with none other than Rachel Cole. She is the Public Information Officer for the District of Columbia Board of Elections. DC, make sure you get out and cast your vote. Rachel, thank you so much for stopping by this morning. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Stick around, folks. More Community Focus coming up next, right here on WPGC 95.5.
Download the all-new radio.com app and listen to WPGC 95.5 anytime, anywhere.
And we're back. You're listening to Community Focus right here on WPGC 95.5. I'm your host, News Affairs Director Guy Lambert. All right, let's just jump right to it. If you're anything like me and we're talking about yoga, what comes to mind? I'll say, namaste. What do you say? Well, I want to let you know that yoga is all about improving balance, flexibility, strength, pain levels among seniors, and so much more. It's even cooler when you mix it, or shall I say remix it, with the community. That's exactly what this young lady is here to tell us all about. Oh, okay, full disclosure. By the way, I need to mention, it's my sister. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ebony Lambert to the program. Hey, Ebony.
Hey, how are you?
This is really kind of weird because I feel like, we know
each other.
Hey, how? Yeah, we know each other. You're my sister. But no, I'm just so proud of you. This is just really cool. You have actually teamed up with a number of nonprofit organizations, and you're giving back in a major way. The first one is dubbed Autism Awareness Event. It's set to take place October the 27th in Woodbridge, my hometown. And you're really talking about the benefits of yoga. By the way, I should say, or what are you, a master yoga professional now?
I do feel that way. So yes, we're having our second annual autism event. And it's going to be on the 27th. And I'm going to be there just talking about all the benefits of yoga as far as breathing exercises, the way it provides calmness and balance, and definitely is great for the autism.
Yeah. But your official title, though, you have studied this for quite some time.
Oh, yes.
So, because folks are saying, okay, well, what does she know about yoga?
So I am One with Ebony, and you will see me all over the Woodbridge DMV area. And yoga is about balance. It's about calmness, and it's about bringing center to your life.
Yeah, and that has happened a lot. You know, it's really interesting. Well, obviously being your brother, I follow you on social media. Can I just say, how in the hell do you do half those poses you do? I can't tell you how many people reach out to, God, do you see your sister? She has her foot around her ankle, around the back of her neck, and then around her leg again.
So I get that all the time. And again, yoga is about your body. So you might not be able to put your foot behind your head like I can, but there's different levels that you can take your yoga practice to.
Yeah, this is just really cool. Of course, as you stated, you're teaming up with the second annual Autism Awareness Event. Describe to me what I'm going to be surrounded by when I get there. For example, I know you're going to be doing yoga, but what will you be offering during that day?
So I will be offering a lot of educational benefits as far as yoga. You know, people hear the word yoga and they think that you have to be the most flexible, and you do not. We're going to talk about breathing exercises. We're going to talk about the simple fact of how healthy just touching your toes can be when you're in a standing position.
Yeah, that's one of two events you're actually taking part in. The other one happens to be Real Women Moving Forward. What's that all about?
So this is a nonprofit organization, and they work with young girls starting in middle school and teaching them life skills, leadership skills, as well as wellness. So I meet with the girls every Friday, and we have our own private yoga class. And it's really, really good.
So a lot of moms listening right now saying, well, hey, I'd love to get my daughter signed up for this. Is it too late to do so?
No, it's not. It's an ongoing organization. And again, we meet every Friday, and we talk about yoga. We talk about things that they're going through in school. So it's not just a class based on just stretching. We get into life situations, and the girls have a place where they can come and release.
Yeah. It's just so funny. You know, when you think of yoga back in the day, I'm just going to be real. It wasn't cool. Nowadays, you're not cool unless you do yoga. That just amazes me how all that has really changed. And it's got to really make you feel good as well.
It does. It makes me feel great. And I always say my yoga classes are different. I enjoy having fun. You might come to class and maybe we're playing reggae music that day, or maybe we're playing a little bit more soul and upbeat type of music, but it's definitely a place to come and have fun and also gain the health benefits.
Yeah, I'm just a little concerned. You know, I love my steak. I love my hamburgers, so I'm not going to turn vegan if I happen to come to a yoga event.
Not every yoga in person is vegan.
I want to chop on my medium rare steak.
You can still eat your steak standing on one foot.
Now, you've had the opportunity recently to open not one, but two studios where you offer private lessons as well. This is just really cool because, once again, I follow you on social media, and I see the difference you're making in so many folks' lives.
That is correct. So, opened a studio in Manassas, which is called the Zen Lounge, and that's more of a wellness center. So you can come there for yoga, you can come there for Zumba, you can come there for what we call Yanni steaming. So just tons of wellness events.
Okay, I'm a dude, and I got to be cool. So what is Yanni steaming?
We might not want to get into that with the men, but Yanni steaming is for women. So ladies, come and get your Yanni steam.
Oh, I know what that is. Okay. Well, if, get it right, get it tight. Once again, all of which being provided by you. Folks want to find out more information about you and the services you offer, and or the upcoming second annual Autism Awareness Event, or the Real Women Moving Forward. How would one go about to do so?
So all of the information is on my website, and that's onewithebony.space. And I also have a small studio that I opened in the Woodbridge area. That's more for private sessions and smaller classes.
All right. And so once again, folks can reach you how?
onewithebony.space. And on Instagram, it is One with Ebony, and that's spelled out O-N-E.
Yeah, that's the one I would highly recommend that you follow. I'm telling you, those poses and everything else you got going on, very impressive. I guess I need to sign up as well, especially being your brother.
Yes, you do.
All right. Ebony, thank you so much for stopping by this morning. One more time, folks want to find out more information about you?
On Instagram, it is One with Ebony, and that's spelled out O-N-E.
All right. That's my sister, y'all. Ebony Lambert, right here on Community Focus. All right, folks, that will just about wrap up another edition of Community Focus. Want to say thanks to all of my guests this morning. Of course, thanks to you as well for listening. God willing, we'll do it again soon. Until then, make it a great day. I'm Guy Lambert. This is WPGC 95.5.
Hey, Redskins fan, get our Paisanos Game Day BOGO. Buy one, get one free.
The Big Screen Store's warehouse clearance event. We need more space, so we're moving to a bigger warehouse, which means big savings. Plus, paying no interest until 2020. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime big savings opportunity. Only at the Big Screen Store.
The Washington Post endorses Jennifer Wexton for Congress, saying Barbara Comstock's promise has turned to dust. She's Trump's unquestioning foot soldier. Jennifer Wexton is the clear and convincing choice. Smart, serious, and substantive. Ms. Wexton would be a breath of fresh air in Congress.
I'm Jennifer Wexton, and I approve this message because I've worked across party lines to get things done. That's how we can fix Congress and make it work for us again.
At the National Theatre through November 18th only. Something strange and unusual. Beetlejuice, the musical.
It's showtime.
Hey, it's Olivia. I had to try out these brand new sweet and smoky barbecue boneless wings. It tastes amazing. Is it possible for chicken wings to be addictive? 5 wings? It's only $3. We're getting saucy. Rallies and Checkers. Fast foodies know the deal.
I was a Navy doctor, so I'm used to getting to work early. Now I have a general practice with a lot of patients who are counting on me. Many of them worry about President Trump taking away protections for pre-existing conditions, and women are frightened they could lose reproductive health care. It's why I'm glad I have a friend named Ben. Ben is a national leader who's protecting Obamacare from President Trump. He's my friend Ben. I hope he's your friend too.
I'm Ben Cardin, and I approve this message.
Around here, we love sports. And if you want to have the best season ever, then it has to be a Honda. More power to tow, more space to pack the party, and more fun features. Get more this season with the best SUV lineup in America. Like a 2018 CR-V for just $269 a month, Motor Trend's 2018 SUV of the year, or a stylishly redesigned 2019 Pilot with seating for 8.
Don't settle for less than a Honda.
We did it! See your local Honda dealer today.
In this community right here, it's a disconnect between like the people and the person they supposed to be able to reach. I've been here since 2011. I ain't had no help since 2014. I wanted to run into the governor, and he promised. He said, well, you know, win or lose, I'm gonna get him some help down there. After he won the election, he sent me some help. A lot of times he's here, and nobody knows. We operate, man, off of friendships. It is what it is. You know, we making it work. You got a white Republican governor. Hey, he act like a regular human being to me.
At the Big Screen Store, our prices beat Best Buy and online, guaranteed. Plus, we double the Samsung warranty, and you get delivery and installation installed by pros on your schedule. Not even Amazon can do that. The Big Screen Store.
Антиребачк. Я remember graci antertin reach center from last week's pilot. Meeting of air students. Nami stasha, anchiochlim stat get ser creativity from airmem. Уайсты старов en Australian show that annual intate early 80s. Тогда will be watching an episode, and see you go at shas memuas.
Hi, it's Zoe Kravitz from Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. Like movies, libraries can help you discover and explore magical new worlds through downloadable media like ebooks, audiobooks, and games. Libraries also help you create your own enchanted world by providing spaces and opportunities for hands-on learning with 3D printers, coding classes, and so much more. Find your magic by visiting your library or ilovelibraries.org today.
Maybe we could live in a house like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
Close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly. 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Go for a mouthful, go for the fun.
Oh, go for cake!
Cakes for everyone. Just one stack is what it takes. And it's go for cakes. Open wide, stuff your face. There's always room for more gopher cakes. Empty the box, they're reload. Eat those gopher cakes till you explode.
Exercised lately?
Till you explode.
If the black dog of depression makes you feel like the saddest soul on earth, you're not alone. Around 350 million people share this debilitating but treatable condition. If you're worried about someone, ask if they're okay. If you're not doing so well yourself, ask for help. There is no shame in doing so. The only shame is missing out on life. So get help, be helped, and always hold on to hope.
Someone torched my car because of my I Love Jesus sticker on the back.
Someone refused to sit next to me on the plane because I was holding a Quran.
I'm Gabby Alvarez. I'm Rachel Schroeder.
I'm Ralik Ron.
And I'm a Mormon. And I'm a Christian.
And I'm a Muslim.
And we are humans.
So as you know, I was once the star of a show about a girl who lived happily in Australia's Gold Coast, which got canned in 1981. Why? Because my character jumped a shark. But why does this phenomenon happen? Join me, Trudy, as we uncover the meaning to the jump the shark trope. I will be joined by my daughter, Tasha, and her teacher, Miss Wesley, as we study the science of shows that enjoyed success only to have it taken away from one single episode. You will watch interviews to people a part of shows that jumped the shark and why they think it happens to them. We'll also look at the top 3 things actors and actresses do after starring in a show that jumped the shark. Plus, you'll meet face to face with the person who wrote my infamous episode of Trudy of the Coast, and the motive to writing that one scene that ruined Trudy. It's time to look at Jump the Shark like never before. Jump the Shark. Premiering, never.
Got Jen, so talk about